President Trump's focus on Iran may be causing a pivotal moment for peace in Ukraine to slip away, according to a recent New York Times opinion essay by Thomas E. Graham, who served as the top White House Russia expert under President George W. Bush. Graham argues that both President Vladimir Putin of Russia and President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine have signaled they want the United States to re-engage and launch intensive negotiations to end the fighting, and that they will not wait forever. He notes that while Putin continues to speak approvingly of Trump, some senior U.S. officials and high-profile commentators are questioning whether the American president can act as an effective and trusted intermediary, given the ongoing U.S. assistance to Ukraine's war effort. Meanwhile, Kyiv is working closely with European allies on negotiating tactics, and some in Ukraine would like to see those Europeans take a more direct role, a move that could widen the divide with Moscow and further diminish the prospects for peace. Graham identifies two compelling reasons for immediate U.S. re-engagement. First, the conflict has entered a dangerous escalatory spiral. Ukraine has intensified its strikes against targets deep inside Russia, hitting energy infrastructure and military sites with notable effect. These attacks are slowly severing the Crimean Peninsula from the Russian mainland, and for the first time Russians far from the front lines are feeling the direct impact of war. The Kremlin urges calm but worries that Kyiv's strikes could demoralize Russian society, promising ever harsher retaliation against what it labels terrorist attacks. In response, Russia is rapidly intensifying its aerial assault on Ukrainian cities and vital infrastructure, exploiting Ukraine's dwindling stock of anti-missile interceptors. The resulting destruction spreads, civilian deaths rise, and Ukraine scrambles to prepare for another bitterly cold winter. Second, and perhaps counterintuitively, the war is ripe for resolution. Both sides need to end the conflict as soon as possible. Kyiv is running out of fighters and finds it increasingly difficult to mobilize men for the front lines, while Moscow also faces mounting pressures. The longer the war drags on, the less likely a negotiated settlement becomes, reducing the window for a peaceful outcome. Graham also warns that fears of a widening war are growing across Europe, as Ukrainian drones and Russian missiles, whether intentional or not, have violated the airspace of NATO allies. Moscow condemns what it sees as Europe's militarization and preparation for war, while European capitals maintain that their actions are a necessary response to Russian aggression and threats to European security. He invokes Barbara Tuchman's classic, The Guns of August, as a cautionary tale of how a regional conflict can spiral into a global catastrophe if left unchecked. In closing, Graham urges the United States to seize the fleeting opportunity to act as a credible broker before the moment passes, reminding listeners that timely diplomacy could avert further escalation and save lives.